independent survey proved that it's a toxic workplace. Our follow-up survey a year later confirms it continues to be a toxic workplace. 11 years on in this survey being conducted across the nation, and we are still the worst workplace in Canada. It's real. It is shameful. The leadership needs to be held to account. I've been here a while. Workload's been a problem for quite some time. We used to have supportive management that understood, that didn't consider that in performance management or performance objectives. They gave you the extra time. They didn't call you in for all the stupid tune-up meetings to say you've got to reach this target, this service level. This kind of micromanagement needs to end. This organization leadership will be held to account. Even if we get agreement and we go back, I will not stop. It is disgusting to me that the organization has turned their eye, stuck their head in the sand, and ignored the real problems. Even when the lead researcher on our Copenhagen psychosocial survey told them to their face, when you have people that are nearly double the national average for anxiety and depression, at risk of losing their lives by suicide, for the organization to ignore that is disgusting. It is dead wrong, and they need to be held accountable for that. To me, that's reason for termination. Now with our updated survey, with a 70% participation rate, we are now more. It has gotten worse. We are now more than double the national average for anxiety and depression. So action is even more urgent. One of the things that we have not been able to settle is how workload will be addressed. I will get into the details when we have our town hall tonight, but the employer continues to be very reticent to do anything with direct action that would provide immediate relief. We have called on WSIB to give us their final offer. It's been long enough. The last pass they gave us is the same pass they gave us just a few days ago. But actually, for some regression, they took some things off the table. That is considered to be bad faith bargaining.
Shameful.
But WSIB is engaging in bad faith bargaining on an ongoing basis. Tomorrow, we have yet another unfair labor practice complaint that's going to mediation first, and then it will proceed to hearing, because it won't be resolved in mediation. The one that's being dealt with tomorrow is about disclosure. The WSIB refuses to provide disclosure on things like the use of AI and what the plan is for the future and any other job area. For the document management representatives whose jobs the WSIB wants to send to the U.S., they refuse to take those notices off the table. This is a bully employer. Normally, an employer, when you go out on strike, a good employer would say, I recognize that we couldn't get to an agreement. I recognize you are participating in a legal strike, and I look forward to having you back because you are valued assets of the organization. You matter. Have you heard that from the WSIB? No. What they keep doing is trying to spin the story that they're able to keep up with the workload. And that is bullshit. You know it, and I know it. We have inside sources that they are dying. Yesterday, all of their queues were backed up. Employers are starting to complain. We have many workers now that have had serious injuries. These are the kinds of cases that drive the work of the WSIB. The simple cases that resolve quickly and auto-allow and are wrapped up very quickly. It is the 20% of the cases that drives the work of the organization. With them auto-allowing those cases, the serious injuries are not getting the access to the medical care that they would if we were on the job. They are not getting access to return to work services as they would if we were on the job. This is dead wrong. The employer should not have locked us down. They knew that we care deeply, we're passionate about our work, but they don't care. They don't care. They're not there for the Ontario's future. We are. We We are the caretakers of the Ontario injured. We matter. We care. We take our job seriously. I am sick and tired of hearing WSIB say, oh, 60% of you make over $100,000. Yeah, well, Jeff makes double the fucking premier. And he's got a parachute clause. And he gets a bonus. And the bonus is just for doing his job. You get a bonus just for doing your job? No. That's ridiculous.
Shameful.
That is greed. That is sense of entitlement. They also have their second pension plan that I've talked about before. This is, we have our employee pension plan, and they have a second pension plan stacked on top of that. Because how could they possibly live on a pension that is capped out at $200,000 of earnings? That's the maximum you can earn to get a pension benefit in Canada. But CRA allows for this supplementary plan. So if you make $350,000, $400,000, you get another pension stacked on top of it. It is craziness. It is ridiculous that they think that we should be held to much, much less. They keep talking about inflation and we'll give you wages and match inflation. They're going on that 1.7, which was only in April, and only because carbon tax came off. But everybody knows the carbon tax is coming back in another way. And everybody knows that core inflation, when you take out fuel prices and food prices, which are volatile, core inflation is 2.2. So one of the things we said to them with the wages, if you are committing to make sure wages don't fall below inflation, put it in writing. If the government is saying that the wages